Hey friends, it's happy hour. Come on in. This is Deb with Art and Grace. You guys probably saw me make some little resin dishes with my oyster shell last time we were live. And I have got another idea. I'm just getting on a coat of multi-purpose seal I put down to seal my items before I resin them. But I'm just going to put this all over my shell and let this dry while we're painting our wood. Okay, we got that on. I'm going to go ahead and do the inside as well. There's lots of little cracks and crevices. This will seal everything. Okay, I'm going to set this aside while we continue. I'm going to do the same thing to my wood here. I will dry this and we will get on with painting. I'm going to stick with these colors. You could do any colors you want. You could do pink or blue or red or anything. But I'm going to stick with these colors because I do think this with golds and white pearl can all be really pretty. Even some silver or gray. Just bring out all the colors of our shell. Okay, I always use junk mail for my palette. And I'm going to put a little bit of burlap in here. I'm going to grab a flat brush, get it wet. I like to use a palette knife to mix, but sometimes I just do this so quick I don't even think. So see, that gives you a nice, really light tone. It will go perfect with our shell. Okay, we got that part painted. Let's do this next little inner rim, but I think I'm going to do gold because that is always so pretty on these frames. So this is called zinc. It's a really pretty metallic dark gray. Okay, let's do our oyster pearl on the back. Okay, we're gonna grab this oyster pearl. These metallics are perfect for me because they're not like glittery, they're just shimmery. Okay, let's see how we are. I think I'm going to put a little of our oyster pearl on this here and just I'm going to put it where the color is the lightest. I'm not going to put it where that gray is. I really like the color variations in this. I'm going to dry that and then we'll start putting this together with our resin. I want y'all to help me decide though whether we're going to use seashells or cut glass. So I hand cut some glass and I pulled this little seashell for her head. If we don't like it, we can use glass. So there's this one. Y'all take a look at it. Or we could put glass. Y'all like glass. Okay, so there's the glass. Now, do you like the glass wings or do you like seashells? And we can paint these. We don't have to leave them natural. We can definitely paint them. Got the shells, and then here's the glass wings. So y'all pick on those. Oh, y'all are mixed, but I think I see more for glass. Okay, let's mix up our resin, and we will put all this together. But I cannot wait to see all this come together. Here's the supplies. This is a pretty small little frame here. I'm going to use probably 2 ounces, maybe 3. I think I'll go ahead and do 3. So I mark my cups just so that I can see the lines easier because, you know, sometimes they're hard to see. And always wear gloves because this stuff gets sticky and you don't want to deal with that. So just wear your gloves. And now that I've done my resin, I'm going to put this bottle far away from me so that if I had to come back to it, I would realize which one I just poured. I'm going to grab my hardener now and go to the other line. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I'm using 1.5 ounces of one and 1.5 ounces of the other. And to have the best cure, you want to be accurate. So take your time. Just an extra 5 seconds to be sure you've got it to the line. Grab my stir stick and we're off to the races. So 3 minutes, you're going to stir slow and easy, and slow is the key. And I'm scraping the sides and the bottom of my cup right now. Get all that worked back down into the cup. Okay, my timer's going off. Let's get that turned off. You can go a little bit, like an extra 30 seconds if you need to. I just know that it will look nice and clear. And I see a little bit of white in it, so I'm going to stir another 30 seconds or so. It depends on room temperature. It really likes a warm room, so about 80 degrees, which none of us keep our houses that warm usually. We don't, although I could probably handle it. But so anyway, that's why sometimes I see more than I want. I'm going to go ahead and put down some resin, and then we'll do kind of our design on top of it. But this way I can pop bubbles before I lay down my big shell. Now you could just stop right here and not use more resin, and it would be right up to the line, you know, and not go over that first little line. But usually when I've done these in the past, I let them go all the way over to the next, you know, the next part of this little frame thing. But you could stop there, but you know, I usually put resin up in there too. Let's use our little butane torch, turn it on. All the bubbles are popped. Now we can just kind of add our elements. So let's put on our pretty shell. I think she said glass was the biggest vote. Y'all voted on the glass for the head. And then I brought out all kind of crushed glass. Let me show you. So I've got some, this is like a gray color to kind of match. So I'm just going to put down some of that. And I told you I'm going to go over, you know, a little bit. I'm not going to end it right there. I'm going to put some on the frame area down here. I've got a lighter gray that I pulled. So instead of having like sand for a beach, this is kind of my thought, is having all this crushed glass. By the way, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I thought to say this. This class is almost live. I put together about 15 kits last night. So if anybody wants to take this class, I've got kits that go with it. And that's coming next week, so hang tight for that. I have some gold glass, but I think I've decided against it. I just want these colors. So I've gone from kind of like an ombre, from light to dark down here. And I've got other things to put in here too. So like these little marble, basically, glass marble. Where's my seashells? And at this point, I am going to add more resin. Just drizzle it so that I can, whatever I'm putting down on top of it will stick to it with that resin. Just going to add some seashells down here. I use broken shells. They don't bother me. Now, if they're really broken, I probably don't. But, you know, you can just tuck them in and... Like this one, the little end of it's off. But I still love it. It's so pretty. see what we think. So I will drizzle over our shells. Okay, I'm seeing hearts. Thank y'all. And I will drizzle over. As long as a little bit of resin touches each shell, it'll stay put. It won't budge once it's cured. And then let's put some over our oyster shell, make her extra shiny. Since I have all this extra resin, I'm gonna just go ahead and use it instead of like saving it for another project. I was gonna whip out another project real quick, but I'll just put it here because it can handle it. It can handle all this. Now, if anybody watches this and you want it, please send me a message because I would love for you to donate to the Alzheimer's Association using my link, and then I will mail it to you. So basically, instead of paying me, you'll be making a donation for, I do this because my mom had it and I want to help other families, and it does take a lot of money to do all the research they do and all the programs they have. Take time, if somebody in your family has Alzheimer's, take time to go to the alz.org and see all of the resources. It's just amazing how many things they have for you, and hotlines you can call, all kind of things. Okay, let's pop the bubbles. Thank you guys. Oh, good, thank you. Just want to make sure it goes to every edge. Our resin is self-leveling, so as long as I do my part and pop the bubbles, then it will continue to level out as it's curing. So it will be just perfect when we come look at it tomorrow. Let me hold this up. All right, guys, that's that. I'll just put this on a level surface and then cover it with a plastic tub and keep all the dust out. I appreciate you guys. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.